There's no doubt about that. So there's a story in the Bible. You all know it really well because you're all preachers. It's about a guy named Gideon. And it goes like this. The angel of the Lord came and sat down under the oak in Ophrah that belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, where his son Gideon was threshing wheat in a winepress to keep it from the Midianites. In other words, he was hiding. I got to be careful here. Can't let them know. And then it says, when the angel of the Lord appeared to Gideon, he said what? The Lord is with you, mighty warrior. I'm sorry, I'm a very visual guy. I'm thinking Gideon is going, who's he talking to, right? In fact, he says these words later. He says, pardon me, Lord. Have you ever said, pardon me, Lord, to Jesus? I don't know what kind of courage you got to have to say that, right? Pardon me, Lord, Gideon replied, but how can I save Israel? My clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my family. I mean, really, how in the world can I do that? How many of you have ever felt this way? My church is the smallest church in the conference. I am the most marginalized pastor. I mean, what difference can I make? And what amazes me is that that kind of language brings fear to us. You ever been afraid? And I'll finish with the story. When I was a little boy, I told you I moved to America. And my father did just what my mom said. He bought me a drum set, and then he bought me a nice bicycle. Now, this bicycle, this is the 70s. I want you to think this through a little bit. This was a cobalt blue bicycle. Okay. It had a banana seat. You know what I'm talking about? That's a bicycle. It had the steering, you know, the handlebar. It looked like a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Monster chopper. Yeah, chopper. That's right. I'm about 11, 12 years old at this point. I got this thing, man, and I love it, man. I'm just driving it all over, everywhere I go. And my father said, you know, just take care of it, of course. And I used to love going fishing. And I lived just 5 minutes away from New Rochelle High School, which had 2 twin lakes. There were not many fish in there, but I would go fishing anywhere. And I took my bike, and I took my fishing pole, and I took my gear, and I rode my bike down to New Rochelle High School. And I pulled up to this one spot. There was a fisherman that was there every single day. We called him Old Joe. Old Joe was down there. You didn't fish next to Old Joe. That's his spot. There was like a certain perimeter that you just knew. Okay, I don't go there. So I just kind of pulled over here. He looks at me. He looks, you know, one of these things. And I start fishing. And I'm there a little bit. And suddenly I see 3 guys. They were high school guys. Older than me. Bigger than me. Walking towards me in a way that my mind said, oh no. Have you experienced this? And so they're kind of walking like this, you know, they're walking towards me. Hey man, what you doing? I'm just fishing, you know. Oh, nice bike. And then they get on my bike, one of them. And I'm like, please don't do that, you know. Oh, come on, man. And he starts kind of driving it around, you know, the grassy area, getting mud all over it. He's trying to do wheelies, and they're all laughing. And I go, please don't do that, you know. And he drops the bike and comes over to me and goes, what? What did you say? I said, I just got that bike, you know. And, I mean, I was obviously much younger than these guys. And he said, well, let me see your fishing pole then. Okay. So I showed him my fishing pole, and he goes, so how does it work? And he goes, oops! And it goes right into the lake. this point, you hear Joe, old Joe, going, hey, leave him alone. Be quiet, old man. Of course, they didn't say be quiet. It was a little more colorful than that. Next thing I know, I'm on the ground, and one of them is just punching me. How dare you talk to me, and this and that, and he's going, just going and going, and I don't know what's going on, you know. And Joe puts down his thing and starts coming towards him, so he gets up. He's like, it's all right. And he says to me, we're taking the bike. I said, please don't take the bike. He goes, okay, do you have any money? It was at that point that I realized these guys were not that very intelligent. And I said, I don't on me, but I have some home. He goes, give me $1. Okay. I said, let me get on my bike. I live literally 5 minutes away. I will go to my house, get the $1, and come back. And they said, what do you think, we're stupid? And I didn't answer that question. I said, no, I'll come back. They go, no, we're going to walk to your house. So now I get my bike, grab whatever gear my fishing pole is in the lake, that's gone. And he's on my bike, and I'm walking. I gotta tell you, as a 12-year-old, I was trembling, just trembling. And they're just kind of talking, laughing amongst each other. And I remember just turning the corner. And as I turned the corner, I realized it was just about lunchtime. And my dad's truck was in the driveway. He had this huge orange truck that said Manente Electric on it. That meant that my dad and my older brother were home for lunch. So we got to the house, and they go, okay, you go in, you get that $1. If you don't come back with that $1, we keep your bike. Okay. And I remember walking in, this is an Italian house, so I went right downstairs to the basement. That's where we lived for some reason. Even though we had a beautiful house upstairs, we kept that nice and clean for the guests. We went downstairs. That's a whole other story. Anyway, so went downstairs, and my brother and my father and my mother, you know, my sister, they were sitting there eating lunch, and I am sobbing. And I'm crying, and my father goes, what's the matter, Sergio? And I couldn't get it out, and my brother goes, what's going on? Big guys, they took my bike. What? My brother Sal, by the way, he's buff, man. He was doing weights those days. He was big, you know. And he gets up, he goes, what? They took your bike? Where are they? They're outside right now, they want $1. My father goes, he gets up calmly, he goes, show me. So I try to dry my eyes, you know, my tears. And we walk upstairs to this veranda that we had that had windows, but all over the place. And we walked up, and there I am by the window, and there they are outside with my bike. And they're still laughing a little bit until they turn around and see. And I am in the middle, and there's my father. And there's my big brother. And I just go, and in my ears I hear, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, goodbye. That's exactly what I hear, man. They dropped that bike and ran so fast. I gotta tell you, man, I know that there are moments in your life where you have experienced intense fear as a pastor. I just want to remind you today that you have a father and a big brother by your side. And you are the apple of their eye. And they will be by your side and take care of you. You stick with your ministry. Don't you give up. Just keep going. Keep fighting. Sail on, sail on, sail on. And God's going to bless you in a mighty, mighty way. Amen? That's it.